Welcome to the story times. Let's get started. It was supposed to be an easygoing night, a break from the monotony of our daily routine. The kind of night where you leave your worries behind, loosen up, and just enjoy yourself. I never expected that evening to take such a sharp turn, to burn itself into my memory forever. My name is Ethan. Sophia and I had been married for 6 years, and I always believed we were on solid ground. Like any couple, we had our share of disagreements, but I never thought she was capable of betraying me. That Halloween night proved me wrong. Truth has a cruel way of sneaking up on you when you least expect it. For weeks, Sophia had been looking forward to the party. She marked the date on our calendar and brought it up every chance she got. Her friend from yoga, Madison, was the host. Madison was famous for her elaborate Halloween parties, the kind that turned her house into a chaotic, overpacked, haunted attraction, complete with fog machines, creepy soundtracks, and far too many guests squeezed into the space. "Are you ready yet?" Sophia's voice called from the bedroom as I wrestled with the fraying laces on my pirate boots. My costume was far from impressive, a generic pirate outfit with a plastic sword dangling at my hip and an eye patch that barely stayed on. "Almost. How's your outfit?" I yelled back. "Just finishing up," she chirped. When she finally appeared, I could hardly speak. Sophia was dressed as a vampire queen, and her costume left little room for imagination. The tight black corset emphasized every curve while the leather skirt climbed dangerously high up her thighs. Her dark makeup gave her an air of mystery, sharp, bold, and undeniably alluring. "Wow," I managed to say, my tone trapped somewhere between admiration and discomfort. "You look amazing." She smiled, spinning on her heel with a playful glint in her eyes. "Is it too much?" I wanted to tell her yes, that it was too much, and I didn't feel right about her walking into a room full of strangers dressed like that. But I held back. I didn't want to seem controlling. "No," I said instead, forcing a smile. "You look fantastic." By the time we arrived, the party was already roaring. Music pulsed through the house, mingling with the overwhelming scent of alcohol and pumpkin spice candles. Costumed guests swarmed every corner of the space, shouting over each other and dancing like there was no tomorrow. Madison greeted us at the door, her tattered zombie bride attire made all the more convincing by smudged makeup and a torn veil. "Sophia, Ethan, you made it," she beamed, pulling Sophia in for a hug. Her gaze darted to Sophia's outfit, and a sly grin crept across her face. "Girl, you're going to be the star of the show tonight." Sophia laughed. "Oh, stop it." I smiled faintly and stuck close to Sophia as we navigated through the crowded house. The party was wild. Music blared, drinks flowed freely, and people shouted and laughed without a care. Sophia seemed to know everyone, flitting from one conversation to the next with ease. As the hours passed, I noticed how much she was drinking and how far she was drifting from me. Her laughter got louder, her hand lingered on others' arms longer than it should have, and her movements had that loose, uninhibited quality that came with too many cocktails. At some point, I lost her completely. A knot of unease tightened in my stomach as I searched through the house. "Madison, have you seen Sophia?" I asked when I finally spotted her near the drinks table. Madison glanced up and shrugged. "Relax, Ethan. She's just mingling. Let her enjoy herself." Her dismissive tone stung, but I didn't argue. Eventually, I found Sophia on the back patio, talking to a guy in a werewolf costume. He was tall, built like an athlete, and carried himself with the cocky assurance that rubbed me the wrong way. "There you are," I said, walking up to them. Sophia turned, her smile overly bright. "Oh, hey, Ethan, meet Jason. He works with Madison." "Nice to meet you," I said. My voice clipped as I extended my hand. Jason's grip was firm, and the smirk that accompanied it didn't sit right with me. "Jason was just telling me about a haunted house he went to last week," Sophia explained casually. "Fascinating," I replied flatly, struggling to keep my irritation in check. Sophia gave me a quick glance, her smile faltering slightly. "You okay?" "Yeah," I said, my tone betraying me, just ready to head back inside. She hesitated, but eventually followed. For the next hour, Sophia stayed close, but something was off. It felt like she was there physically, but mentally, she was somewhere else. Around midnight, Madison announced a game of truth or dare. I wasn't thrilled, but Sophia's excitement persuaded me to join in. The game quickly escalated. Shots were taken, secrets were spilled, and people were dared to do increasingly ridiculous things. When it was Sophia's turn, Madison shot her a mischievous look. Truth or dare? Madison asked. Sophia smiled confidently. Dare. Madison's grin widened. I dare you to kiss the most attractive person here. Cheers and whistles erupted around the circle. My stomach dropped as I watched Sophia's face. For a moment, she glanced at me, and I thought she'd lean over and kiss me, ending the whole thing with a laugh. Instead, she turned to Jason. Before I could process what was happening, she leaned in and kissed him. It wasn't quick. It wasn't innocent. It was deliberate, slow, and far too intimate. The crowd roared with applause, but I sat frozen, my mind spinning. When Sophia pulled back, her eyes met mine, and I couldn't read her expression. Ethan, it was just a game, she said softly, as though that would fix everything. I forced out a hollow laugh and muttered something about getting some air. I pushed my way outside, the cold air biting at my skin as anger, confusion, and humiliation crashed over me. Minutes later, Sophia appeared. Are you okay? She asked cautiously. No, I'm not okay, I snapped. What the hell was that? It was just a dare, she defended herself. Everyone was watching. I didn't want to make it awkward. Well, you nailed it. Things are definitely awkward now, I shot back. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. You kissed another guy in front of everyone, Sophia. It didn't mean anything, she insisted, her voice rising. Before I could respond, Jason appeared in the doorway, feigning concern. Everything good out here? No, it's not, I said sharply, stepping toward him. Mind your own damn business. Ethan, stop, Sophia said, stepping between us. Jason raised his hands innocently. Didn't mean to intrude, he retreated, leaving me glaring at Sophia. This is unbelievable, I muttered. You're overreacting, she shot back. It's a party, Ethan. You're just being jealous. I'm going home, I said, my voice hard. Her eyes widened. What? Why? Because I'm done pretending this is okay, I said bitterly. You're being ridiculous, she protested. It was just a stupid game. But I didn't care anymore. I turned and walked away, leaving her standing there alone on the porch, still trying to justify the unjustifiable. Go get your bag, I ordered, my voice sharp, my hand gesturing toward the car. We're leaving, right now? Sophia didn't budge. Her stance was firm, her expression unyielding. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here, my voice dropped, low and dangerous. Sophia, if you don't come home with me this instant, we're finished. Her eyes narrowed, defiance flickering in their depths as she tilted her chin upward. You don't own me, Ethan. If you want to leave, then leave. I'm staying. I stared at her, the weight of her words settling like a stone in my chest. So this is it? You're choosing this party, choosing him, over us, over our marriage? She said nothing. That silence cut me more deeply than anything she could have said. My voice turned to ice. Fine, have it your way. Without another word, I turned and walked off the porch, my feet heavy as I approached my car. I slid into the driver's seat, my hands trembling on the wheel as a torrent of emotions swirled inside me. Fury, betrayal, heartbreak. The entire drive home was a blur. Hours later, I found myself sitting alone in the living room. The house felt suffocatingly still, a silence that seemed to mock me as I tried to process what had happened. The buzz of my phone snapped me out of my thoughts. An unfamiliar number lit up the screen. After a pause, I answered. Hello? Hey, Ethan. It's Jake, Madison's boyfriend. We met earlier tonight. His voice was uncertain, awkward. Yeah? I replied warily, not understanding why he was calling me. Jake exhaled audibly as if bracing himself. Look, man, I don't know how to say this, but you need to know. Sophia's upstairs, with Jason, in one of the bedrooms. The world seemed to tilt beneath me. My stomach dropped, and I could barely force out the words. Are you sure? But deep down, I already knew the answer. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ethan. You deserve to know. I hung up without responding, my hand trembling as I placed the phone back on the table. My eyes landed on the framed wedding photo across the room, our smiling faces frozen in time. Something in me snapped. I grabbed the frame and hurled it against the wall. The sound of shattering glass filled the room, but it wasn't enough to drown out the pain. Moving on instinct, I walked to the closet and pulled out the folder that held our marriage papers, a relic of promises and vows that now meant nothing. One by one, I ripped through them, tearing our life together into pieces. The quiet of the house became unbearable, pressing down on me like a weight. I grabbed a bag, stuffed it with clothes, and left. I couldn't be there. The hotel I checked into felt sterile, cold, but at least it wasn't haunted by memories of her. At the small desk in the corner of the room, I opened my laptop, logged into our shared bank account, and transferred every dollar into my personal account. She had no right to a single cent after what she'd done. Sleep refused to come that night. I lay on the stiff mattress, my mind replaying everything again and again. Anger, disbelief, grief, a relentless cycle that wouldn't stop turning. By morning, my phone began buzzing nonstop. Sophia. I ignored the calls at first, but eventually, I picked up. What? My voice was hollow. Ethan, where are you? Her voice was frantic, desperate. I woke up and you were gone. What's happening? A bitter laugh escaped me. You're really asking that? You stayed at the party. I told you what it meant if you did, and then you went upstairs. With Jason. There was silence on the other end before she finally spoke, her voice small. Who told you? Does it matter? I shot back coldly. The truth is the truth. Ethan, please, she whispered. I made a mistake. I love you. We can fix this. No, I replied, the finality in my tone undeniable. You destroyed everything, Sophia. Now you have to live with it. I ended the call before she could say another word. Days later, I returned to the house to collect more of my belongings. It no longer felt like mine, just a hollow, empty place that echoed with betrayal. As I pulled into the driveway, I noticed a car I didn't recognize parked outside. My gut twisted. Inside, the unmistakable sounds coming from the bedroom sent dread crawling up my spine. My feet were heavy as I climbed the stairs, dread turning to certainty. I pushed the door open. There they were, Sophia and Jason, tangled together in the bed we used to share. What the hell is this? My voice shook with anger, disbelief raw in every word. Sophia froze, her face paling. Ethan, I didn't mean for you to see this. My hands trembled, my vision narrowing as rage surged through me. This is what you call a mistake? This is your regret? Jason scrambled to cover himself, but I ignored him. I pulled out my phone and snapped photos of the scene, proof of her betrayal, cold and irrefutable. You have 2 days, I said, my voice icy. 2 days to get your things and get out. If you're still here, I'll have the police remove you. You won't disrespect me in my own home. Sophia stared at me, guilt and disbelief etched across her face. But I was done. Whatever part of me had loved her, had trusted her, was gone. If I need to file a restraining order, I will, I added sharply before turning on my heel and walking out, leaving her and Jason behind. The divorce was quick, but the pain lingered. Sophia packed her things and left, taking only what belonged to her, but leaving behind the wreckage of our life. I erased every trace of her from my world, every photo, every memory. Time moved forward, but some wounds don't heal, they scar. Her betrayal taught me a truth I'd never forget. Love alone isn't enough. Without trust, loyalty, and respect, love is just an illusion. Every Halloween, I remember the night my world crumbled, but it's also the night I found the strength to walk away from someone who never deserved me. And for that, I'll always be grateful. This concludes the story. If you like it, then put your powerful like and subscribe to the channel.